Hey everybody, this is Brad from MOTODEMIC. Today we're going to talk about how to install the Monster Headlight Conversion on the 821 and 1200. Let's see what comes in the kit. So here we have the main headlight bracket, the side brackets, the instrument panel bracket, miscellaneous hardware and hex tools. For this installation we're going to do the adaptive LED headlight, and even though the conversion is 100% compatible with the stripe fly screen, we have the optional OEM back cover. And we also have optional turn signals that have been pre-wired with resistors. So let's check out the tools needed for the job. The kit includes a 5 and 4mm hex tool. You're going to need a ratchet with a 10mm socket, and optionally a 13mm wrench for installing the turn signals. First we need to remove the stripe fly screen using the 4mm hex key. Next, remove the two 4mm hex head bolts from the back of the instrument panel. So if you have the standard back cover, you need to simply just pull each side flap apart and remove the 4mm hex head bolts securing the instrument panel. Next, unplug the instrument panel and slide forward to remove. Next, from the left side of the bike, turn the handlebars to the right and loosen the 10mm nut on the back of the headlight mount. Remove the nut and set aside. While you're over here, go ahead and unplug the headlight from the back of the housing. Then repeat on the other side. Now the headlight's ready to remove. Simply lift up and slide off the grommets and set aside. If you're installing the optional turn signals, now is a good time to remove the stock turn signals. Use the 5mm hex tool to remove the bolts from either side of the turn signals. With the bolt removed, you can simply unwrap the turn signal from the fork tube. Now you need to unplug the turn signals by pulling the connectors through the rubber grommet they're installed into and unplugging them. Undo the rubber wire guides and reconnect for the time being. Now would be a good time to plug in the new optional turn signals, making sure that you keep DX on the right side and SX on the left side. Now set your headlight on a towel and remove the two 5mm posts found on the bottom of the instrument panel area. On the stripe model, you also have to use a 4mm hex tool to remove the two bolts securing the fly screen bracket to the headlight. Now we need to assemble our instrument panel mount. Let's slide the instrument panel into the instrument mount and line up the back cover. The bolts need to have their stepped shims installed so that the shim can align itself into the instrument cover. Use a 4mm hex tool to tighten. And you want to make sure everything fits together without any binding. Everything fits together nice and flush. Now you need to take the posts that we removed from the OEM headlight and reinstall them into the new instrument mount. Tighten these with the 5mm hex key. Assembly of the instrument panel for the stripe model is similar. Slide the instrument panel onto the bracket. In this case, you're going to install the stepped shims the opposite of when using the back cover, and have the larger flange of the step against the instrument bracket. Tightening these with the 4mm hex tool. Now you can install the fly screen bracket the same way it was installed on the OEM headlight bracket. Now we can install the instrument panel by plugging it in and sliding the posts down over the rubber grommets. Now we can install the main headlight bracket. Using the 5mm Allen key, install the two M8 bolts that tie into the instrument panel mount. Tighten these bolts down pretty well. Now we can reinstall the nuts that were on the back of the stock headlight mount into the new headlight mount's rubber bushings. Be sure to also install the temperature sensor in between the nut and the lower triple clamp. Repeat on the other side. Now we can loosely install the side brackets using the supplied M6 bolts and the 4mm hex tool. Make sure they're loose, because this allows you to install the headlight much easier. Now would be a good time to loosely install the turn signals. Make sure you plug them in on the correct side. Align the projector in the turn signals so that it's facing forward, and tighten with a 13mm wrench. Now is also a good time to close the flaps on the instrument cover. Now we can begin installing the headlight. First, plug in the adapter harness into the factory connector for the headlight. Next, you want to tuck in any of the excess wiring or resistors for the turn signals. Now we can insert one headlight bolt with one headlight bushing in between the headlamp and the side bracket. Also make sure you've installed a black nylon washer. Repeat this on the other side. Roughly align the headlight and then tighten with the supplied 5mm hex tool. Now we can tighten the 4 M6 bolts, holding down the headlight side brackets. Now you can fine-tune the headlight alignment and tighten down the 2 M8 bolts on either side of the headlight. Now that the installation is complete, turn on your ignition and test all headlight functions. And your turn signals. Well, there you have it, the MOTODEMIC Monster Headlight Conversion for the 821 and 1200. For more information, head to motodemic.com. Please like and subscribe. See you next time.